President Biden is done with Donald Trump's nonsense and lies about FEMA's disaster relief efforts with regards to Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Listen to what President Biden said today when he was asked whether or not he spoke to Donald Trump.
Mr. President, have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable?
When have we ever heard a president speak with such little regard for another president? I mean, I guess except for Donald Trump and every other president in modern history who he's disparaged. Now, Trump has lied his ass off pretty much his entire life, and he definitely crossed a line when he used Milton and Helene to try to score political points as people were reeling with the damages, with the death from both of those hurricanes. And still, the MAGA cult is not listening to reality. They're not listening to logic. They're not listening to anyone but Donald Trump. Here is an interview with a West Coast American whose father-in-law is in the MAGA cult, and he's refusing to take FEMA's help because he thinks, because of Donald Trump's lies, he thinks that the government will seize his home if he seeks help.
My father-in-law lives just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and he was badly damaged by Hurricane Helene. And he has refused all FEMA help because he's a hardcore Trumper. And he literally believes that if he accepts anything from FEMA, they're going to take his house. I don't understand how so many people are under the spell of this freaking con man. I don't understand it.
Well, it's absolutely heartbreaking about your father-in-law. I'm so sorry to hear it. I hope. And
it's hard to even imagine it. I mean, he lost almost everything, and he's refusing all help from the federal government and complaining to us that he doesn't have food, that he doesn't have the stuff he needs, and yet he won't accept the help. What the hell are we supposed to do? We're not in a position to be able to fly across the country and help him. Yeah. There's people begging us to get him to accept help, and he won't do it.
Wow.
And I guarantee you, I'm not the only one. I guarantee you, I'm not the only one.
I wish there was something I could say as to, I don't know. Does he have access to any electronics where you could send him some information debunking this, and that he might?
We've done all of that. We've done all of that. We've sent him all the FEMA bulletins. We've sent him all the stuff from the fact checkers. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it's all, he just believes Trump. Literally, Dan, it's a cult. He's a cult member. I'm sorry to say it. He's a cult member. And he's my father-in-law, and it sucks.
Now, this is shockingly sad. If you're in the comments, if you're watching and you know anyone else who has been impacted by the hurricanes and who are refusing to seek help, let us know in the comments down below. Like that man said on the MSNBC interview, he's not alone. And there are probably hundreds of thousands of people out there who have been impacted by these hurricanes, and Donald Trump's lies have just spiraled them into chaos because of this. Now, Donald Trump, who criticized Kamala Harris for going on to the Call Her Daddy podcast during Hurricane Helene, he was in Detroit today actually talking shit to the people of Detroit.
I don't think anything that we're talking about today is high on our list. The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
I guess that's a new strategy for Donald Trump. Trump also, in that same event, lied about California having massive blackouts because of the electrical grid problems. I'm in California. It's not happening.
We don't have electricity. In California, you have brownouts and blackouts every week. And blackouts, I mean, the place is stone cold, broke, no electricity. And this idiot governor over there that I had to deal with that is really, I don't know if he's really for real. So you have blackouts, brownouts all the time.
Trump wasn't done there. He also cried foul that Barack Obama was nominated and received a Nobel Peace Prize and that he didn't.
If I were named Obama, I would have had the Nobel Prize given in 10 seconds. He got the Nobel Prize. He didn't even know what the hell he got it for. Remember, he got elected. Well, so did I. He got elected, and they announced he was getting the Nobel Prize. Remember, he said, "Oh, what did I do?" He didn't know what the hell he did. He got the Nobel Prize for doing nothing. For getting elected, but I got elected too. And, you know, if I think of that, we did something, the Abraham Accords, unprecedented. Nobody thought it was possible. And I'm not saying want or not. I'm just saying if it was anybody else, liberal, Democrat, they would have had it before the damn thing was even signed, you know. So there has to be fairness, and I don't care, but I'm not looking for it. I'm not politicking for it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of unfairness in this world, and I think.
And of course, my favorite moment from Donald Trump's appearance in Detroit was when he tried talking about Elon Musk's return rockets and Joe Biden's circles.
A very big plant. Many countries, they do that, and then all of a sudden you hear that they're leaving Milwaukee or they're leaving wherever they may be located. It's very sad to see it. And it's so simple. I mean, you know, this isn't like Elon with his rocket ships that land within 12 inches on the moon where they wanted to land. Or he gets the engines back. That was the first I realized. I said, who the hell did that? I saw engines about 3-4 years ago. These things were coming, cylinders, no wings, no nothing. And they're coming down very slowly, landing on a raft in the middle of the ocean someplace with a circle. Boom. Reminded me of the Biden circles that he used to have, right? He'd have 8 circles and he couldn't fill them up. But then I heard he beat us with the popular vote. I don't know. Couldn't fill up the 8 circles. I always loved those circles. They were so beautiful. They were so beautiful to look at. In fact, the person that did them, that was the best thing about the level of that circle was great. But they couldn't get people, so they used to have the press stand in those circles because they couldn't get the people. Then I heard we lost. Oh, we lost. No, we're never going to let that happen again. But we've been abused by other countries. We've been abused by our own politicians, really more than other countries.
It's very clear Donald Trump is aging. He doesn't have a firm grasp about what he's talking about a lot of the time. And when he does know what he's talking about, he's lying in order to promote himself and to score political points, even if it means throwing Americans who have died or who have lost family members or their homes or everything to these hurricanes, if it means throwing them under the bus and throwing them into deeper despair by lying about FEMA's relief efforts so that he can score political points. It is disgusting, and President Biden telling Donald Trump to get a life and help these people, also telling the media that they need to do their damn job and fact check Donald Trump nearly every minute of every day because literally the country is relying on them in this election. President Biden was absolutely justified by condemning both Trump and the media. Let me know what your thoughts are on President Biden telling Donald Trump to get a life. Also, be sure to subscribe so you get my future videos in your inbox. Thanks for watching.